Hello everybody. Sorry, I started class today at 8 p.m., but then I had some technical issue, and then after that, a lot of different things that happened as well. So yeah, this sound is good. So I end up had to come back to my old PC. I was set up a new PC. If you remember the previous class, I was using Fedora 483, and now I'm back to Arch Linux. So let me just run here. See, this is a kind of a old PC. There is like old video card. It's good. There is like 32 gigabytes of memory, and everything was going wrong. I tried multiple things, and in my mind, when things start to go wrong, is when you see, okay, how much I want to do this, and you have to prove ourselves. So here we are, and let's go. There is a good thing because in this PC, I didn't set up that project yet. So maybe it'll be helpful for someone that is just joined and want to see how we can get the Git repository and start to work locally. So it's good that you're going to be able to do that. So let's go to our appira.com. That goes to our Git repository, and then I will copy this URL. Once I have it, I will come here and say, okay, I want to clone the repository. I will put that one. And here I already have a folder, right, under documents, or under Jose, in my home. This was the previous training, so I will select the same folder and I open it. So let me close the other one. I open a new window. I didn't need to do it, so let me close this guy as well. So here we are. We clone everything that I saved from the last class. So what happened is we already have the back end, the front end. However, there is a catch here. Do remember that we added to this git ignore everything that was not really important for us. So that means we don't have some of the installation here. So I'm gonna leverage like the agent to help us on that. Let me increase this font here just to make sure that it's gonna work. Yeah, as you see, it's like midnight for me, but I am not expect people to watch live. I just do live because then I have to focus and it would be like a live experience, Otherwise, we don't like, we edit, we change, and then it's kind of like very hard. So at least for me, it's harder. So what we can do here is something like this. I just clone this repository for an amazing training I am doing. And now I need to run the front end and back end project to test it. Let's see what Copilot will be able to get from here and see, okay, it's say go to cd backend and do .NET run. And I can say, okay, I think I need to install .NET and React as well. Could you provide the comments for it? I am using Arch Linux. So let's see, this is to install .NET, so I'll copy this. Let me open my terminal here and just run it. Whoa. That is the beauty of AI agent in our like code editor IDE, we don't need to memorize much stuff. And now we need to install this guy as well. And I hope this is all. So let's follow now the previous instruction. So first we're gonna do this. We can keep the same tab here, just do my clean, and then let's go to the repos, app Vira, and then backend. And tell us to do .NET run. Let's see how it goes. So it's running and is in this port. Now let's see, okay, how about how to run the front end React app. Okay, so now is a little bit different. We need to go, I open a new tab. So be cd dot and then front end and npm install, because just to explain what happened here is when we are using npm, there is a file called package.json. So this tells for this project everything that is needed. So when we run this npm install, do remember that folder I told you that there is a lot of like stuff there. So everything that is here is going to be downloaded from the internet and going to be installed there. So we now have that, and it's showing that there is no vulnerability, and then 45 package. Oh, 177 package was installed. And there is 43 that is running, waiting for some funding or donation. So if you like, you can run this to see. And then we can just type this. That means now we have our front-end application running here, and then the back-end application running here. For you that is new, the idea is that all those saves is going to be running over the internet. So those two windows here simulate a service like a web server. This one is serving the front-end application, the React application, and this one is serving the backend. So if we open this guy, we should be able to see that application running. In the previous class, I didn't took the time to explain what is in there because we're gonna delete all this. This is just temporary. We're gonna build application. This is just to, okay, we know that those two things are there and they are talking to each other. But the 2-day class, we're gonna do something a little bit different just to explain. So I'm gonna stop those two. And what I do is I add a new technology called, it's not new, it's very old already, it's called Docker. Because I don't want to be running those console applications here, because our end goal is to deploy the front end and the back end application in a database to servers, and they're gonna be running there. We don't want to have those services running in console windows in our machine. So the idea is we're gonna use Docker for this. And in that training, I already like cover Docker, explain what it is. So it's good for you to do some Google and say, oh, what Docker is. And now, as assume that we know, we're gonna use AI to do the work for us. That is what I really love and enjoy those AI agents, because I'm very bad at memorizing. I understand the concept and I know how to validate that. So what you do here is I say, I need to add Docker to this project. So create containers for the front end, back end, and a Postgres database. A lot of things is gonna happen here. I don't know exactly how it goes. And let's see how it is gonna happen there. And I say, I need to install Docker as well on my Arch Linux. So first is how to install Docker. So we run those commands here. Log out and back in for group change. Let's see. I will copy those things and I run them all in just once. New tab. Let's go home. And then let's run. This is just the package manager for Arch Linux. It's called Pacman. So what we're doing is we are installing Docker, we are start, enable, and then doing some user configuration. And for Linux, to do this operation, I have to put like a super user ID to do it. So now it should be there. Usually there is a way to test it. Okay. Let's see if it create the files for us already. Yes. So what happened here is, let's see. There is this file, Docker Composer, that is going to tell us for this project, look that this file was created in the main folder. See, Docker Composer. And here you say, okay, you have a database that there is an image that is Postgres 16. I'm assuming it's the latest version. I can ask, is that Postgres the latest version? Just in case. Okay, now we can change for this. Let's see if it's gonna change. Image. Okay, so it's say that 16, as far as he knows, is the last one. But if you want to make sure that is always the latest, we can change to this. So what we're saying here is that in this project, we need Docker to find this in the internet, download for us and set up. Here there is something very dangerous because just a warning, like in our case, in this situation is not an issue because this database is intended to be used just locally. So when I check in this code that this password goes there, I don't need to worry because no one can really access this machine. However, if I have here information for my live server, this should never be in the code. It's a very common mistake. I already see this mistake. I already saw this mistake happen in big companies that we had to stop everything and go to change the thing because someone figured out, oh, there is a PR in the code, the password is out there and happen. So just pay attention to those things because this is something that someone just doing Vibe code can really let this go. So it's just so there is a Postgres image, and there is kind of not magic, but something very cool happening behind the scenes. We don't need to have a server, we don't need to have a VM and then install Postgres. It will be just a box or a container that will have it, and the image someone already put for us. Okay, so there is the backend that you say, okay, the build is in this folder. The backend depends on the database one, the B1. There is some environment variables, in this case, say that's development, and then there is a connection string that is tell this application how to connect to this database. Do you see it here? Another thing that should never be in a real life situation. In our case, it's not a big deal because this is just for our containers. This is not going to be running live. And here's the back end, and there is some information here. See, the database will be running this port. The back end is going to be running this port, and the front end in the 80. We could change here instead of 80, we could say 80, 80, and because, well, could be 80. Never. 80 is the default port for HTTP. So if your server already have a web server running 8080, you're going to have a conflict. Okay, and this is the main configuration. Inside each folder, one doc file was created. And basically, this doc file is explained for this project, for the backend, what is going to be there. We say that what type of application is, what is the work directory. So there is an app directory, is where the basically is where our files will be deployed for access. So we are simulating that our application. Remember, everybody, everything you do in coding has to be compiled, has to be bundled to be released. So that is what is going on here. And some points say, oh, the entry point is .NET and a backend DLL. I will never remember all those details. And if I was not using Copilot, I'd have to check documentation, go to Google, copy and paste for a previous project, because I can't remember all those details. But basically, we are telling to the Docker, those are the information and the steps that you need to do to deploy this application to a container. So see, for example, here there is we're gonna run a .NET publish -c, release -o, and where. So basically, all the files that we created, all the saves, all the logic that we create is gonna be deployed to this. One thing that we should pay attention is that if we check our current application, so we know that, let's see if it's still there, that this one was running port 5173, so we need this to open the browser for it. And the backend was running this port 5289. So how the front end found this? If we navigate to our back or front end code, we'll see there is a component here that we ask AI to create, this one here, weather forecast. And this is not nice, but we have a hard code URL that is pointing to this port. So that means when this guy is running in this port, we can find it. But look what we did in here, in our Docker. We said that the Docker Compose, this will be running the port 5000. So we have to remember to change it. But let's not worry about this right now. And then it's say here, to start our saves, Docker Compose app and then build. So we're gonna copy this. We go to our main folder. So look where we are. We need to go to repos and then app Vita. So right here, we're gonna say, okay, I wanted Docker now to do the magic, to read all those files, compile my application, download whatever need to be downloaded, and then let's see what is gonna happen. I'll pass this and see, build it. Something is not right, Docker. Okay, what I do is, I say, you told me to run this, but didn't work. So let's see if it's gonna help me. And this happened a lot. So they say, oh, Composer for the version 2, the command is like this: docker compose app builder. However, if you see a no flag build, you may use an older version of Docker. Okay, so he was not smart enough to realize which version we just installed and then give me. So this happened. Like, is everyone can make a mistake, and then the AI as well. So look, we see this. However, if you see a no flag build, you may use an older version of Docker Composer. Okay, so I can say how can I make sure to use the latest Docker Composer? Yeah, Composer. Because we just installed it, how come it's gonna be an older version? Let's use everything that is new. Okay, let's run this guy. Not sure why, when do we run it? Let's see which one did you run. Was something like as Docker. Okay, never mind. Let's run it. Is he trolling us? Let me. Oh, wait. I'm done. This is tell us to remove it. And then if did not remove, is because it's not there. This is to install the new one. And you ask me, oh, do you remember this? No, I will do this eventually, and it's very rare. So we can tell him this is not. Oh, let's try this. What is going on? Doc is not even here. Maybe it's with that message that we should log off and log in, but let's see. Let's see what is gonna tell here. This is perfect normal. It's gonna happen. AI sometime. Okay, it's telling me to do all the updates. Let's try. Sometime I need to do a reboot after this, but I hope not. Nothing to update. Okay, let's try this. Let's install. Somehow, maybe I missed some step. I was like, sometimes we don't pay attention and you do those mistakes. And now let's see the Docker Composer version. Okay. And now let's try to see if this is gonna work. Oops. Enable permission deny. Okay, so probably need to do as you do, as there is some installation required. There is already some warning here, say versions of obsolete to be ignored, to remove it about potential confusion. So in the Docker Composer, there is this version. So let's say that this is not being used anymore. So I just save. And then you ask if it's not used, why he just create for us with that? Because he was out complete and maybe most of the documentation had it because it was the older one, and it's perfect normal. Okay, let's go. We go here. a lot of things happen here, and then I just say fail to solve a process. What we can do is I can say something like this. I would say the command finish with this message. There is something here that I'm doing, I'm showing you, but it's dangerous. We cannot just start to do stuff without trying to understand what is going on. I'm just push the limits here to say, okay, let's play blind, dumb, and see how much is going to help us. But it's very important that we pay attention to this and see what is going on. Specify which project solution file to be folder contain more than a pressure. Okay, so the error could be because Docker build for the backend contains both solution and the project, and the .NET publish command does not know which one. To fix this, update your backend doc file so the publish command specify the project. So this is something interesting. So what is happening here, based on the message, is in our backend we have the solution file. Where is the solution file? This is the solution file and the project file are in the same folder. Usually they are not. This folder is the solution is one in the parent folder. So what we need to do is to change this to tell, okay, instead of, let's go to our which file is this one? The Docker file. Oh, it was give us that. So we're gonna keep the change already. It did for us already. So basically, when we don't tell what we're gonna be publishing, the command try to assume what is the .NET file that can be published. Could be a solution, could be a project. So in this case, what's confused? Oh, there is two. Which one? And this is something that happened, and I could just close my eyes, accept, and maybe you have it working. But it's good to take the time to understand. My advice: use AI is awesome, but make sure that you are learning, that you are in control, that you know what is going on. Sometimes we go to the easy thing and then we just let it go. So we're gonna run again sudo docker compose app and build. Let's see what is gonna happen this time. Just to understand what happened here is the Docker is getting all the configuration provided, is going to compile our code, and is going to put into the containers. So if we have to wait because a lot of things is going on here, and it's going to publish that data to the containers. So let's wait a little bit, and it's tell us that should be up, and then it's showing here. So the web application, let me go back here to understand. There is a lot of text here, but basically we have our front end and back end running in those containers, not in those consoles anymore. We're gonna use this later on for convenience, because this is kind of, we have to compile our code and then deploy, release it. But during develop, we want to be fast. We want to change and see the result, change and see the result. We don't want to be doing this build over and over. So now what we can do is, we know that is in the port 80. Is 80 or 8080? We can check here. We go to our front end and then Docker file. Oh, actually is in Docker Composer. Where is it? So our port 80. So we can take a peek. Remember that we was open this folder in this though, sorry, the back end, the front end was here. But if we click this now, we're not going to see anything. But if we just put port 80 here, we should see it. There is another thing going on here. When we put port 80, is a default. So it's the same as not do anything. But let's see what is going on. There is a bug here that we don't see the weather information. And that's because we have in our application hard code. If we go to our front end, we have hard coded to this URL. But if you look to our composer, that means that this guy now is running in the port 5000. So we have two options. One is fixing our code and redeploy, or match what is in the Docker to what is here. Let's do like this. Let's change to 5000. And I want to show you something here. Even if I fix and I save and I reload, I still don't see the solution. So if I open F12, let me put like side by side here. And if I check the network tab, let me reload, I will see there is an error. And this error is happening because this call is making a request. Where is it? Is make a request to port 5289. So as we change our code, we need to redeploy. We have to understand this like we are getting our source code, we are building it, and we are deployed to a server, in this case, to a container. So what I need to do, I have to come here, unfortunately, stop, and then build again. Because now when you build again, that new file will be compiled, and then we should see the right thing there. So if we go here and you reload the page, still not working. Let's see what is going on. The new code should be there red. Let's see where they are running. 80, and then the backend. Oh, let me do this. How could we make a quick test to check if the backend is running on port? Oh, actually, I'm dumb, I should look here if the port is correct. This is still probably the old port, so it's not, oh no, it's changed to 5000. And now let's ask here. I'm not that dumb. Yeah, so 5000. Oh, I know what is this. Probably it's the core. Because look this. In our... Oh, no, wait. This... let's see. Let's run this guy. Check the logs for backing a container. Okay, so listening port 88. Oh, wait, I guess there is something wrong here. Okay. Let's make sure I'm not crazy. So the back end is running 5000, front end in port 80. And why does it show 88? 80? Where is the... Let's go to the back end. Docker file. 5,000. There is nothing wrong here. I say this, the front end is not able to read, to get the data from the back end. Let's see what is going to happen here. Oh, I see. Look at this. Actually, is not. That is very interesting. So this the the back end is not localhost anymore. Actually, is this. So this should be the thing. How do we test? Let's go to our browser and let's try to open it. No. Oh, wait, there is something extra there. Not yet as well. This. Oh, wait, there is too much thing there. Let me actually test this. Maybe I was doing something silly here. Nope. This is stop. Well, I was confused. So let's try this. Nope. This. Try say URL. Check your. Let's see. I'm telling him, oh, try yourself and see. And then he put here that simulate a call, and he should be able to see what is going on. Okay, maybe there is something wrong with the Docker. Okay, so it's reading to the 8080, but I don't see the back end. Let me start this and run again. Okay, let's go here and try to see it again. No. Looks like the backend application is not running, but front end is. Okay, let's check the logs. Now listen to 8080. There is something strange here because the backend is now listen to 8080. Oh, I am somehow dumb because the log is showing that it's listening to 8080. If I go here, let me try this. I see this something. Look, this something is odd. Looks like it is running on port 88. Easy way to test is we go here and then we change this to 8080. Yeah, not as well. Okay, let's do this. Okay, now it's adding a URL here, and then it tell me to put down. And then build again. Yeah, I was expect stuff like this. Oh, wait, not this. Let's see. Okay, now it's saying that it's listening to the port 5000, and there is something here. Oh, there is a warning. Let me show. Not sure this warning. So let's check this. 88, nothing. And what about 5000? Okay, 5000 now is working. Not sure why it was not working before. And our front end, we changed to 5000, right? So this should make this guy happy now. What is going on here? It's calling. Oh, sorry, is this one. It's core that is going on here. Let me try this reload just to get a better. Oh, that is fine. It's showing that we could get the response. Yeah, we got it. Why is not showing here? Interesting. Oh, the call is working, but the front is not showing data. What we're learning here is that even using the agent, we should be knowing what is going on. So look, we're gonna make this run and this is fine. Now, probably gonna check the code and see what should be wrong in this component because we are making the right call. See, exactly the same call that he did here. Yep, I'm gonna check exactly that. Please fix the code. Okay, I will do this. Let's see if I can copy it here. That's the response, the raw response. This is the response from the F12 to review the front end component. Okay, let's do this. It's telling to come here and where we do. Oh, what we can do is from here we can put a breakpoint. Debugger. Let's see how it goes. There. And here as well. The good thing is that pay attention that this is not a nice way to do the ongoing development. This is more like to understand how we're going to release it. But right now, look, every time I change, in theory, I have to come here. I have to put it down and then rebuild it. This is a waste of time. And the good thing about front end is that we can change and see the change right away. But it's just to understand first with Docker, and then we're going to see a better way to do it. So now we go to our application. I will do a reload and the breakpoint. Oh, wait. Could you use CURL to access the front end? Let's see. Maybe I'm in the wrong port. I'm loading the wrong application. Okay. Oh, I guess it's a core thing. The front end is up and accessible. And then we can see the data. Okay. Let's see. I'll copy this guy. Let's go to our browser. Still not working. Why? Oh, come on. I'm done. I'm sorry for this. It's good. Do you see there is the score that is missing here? And what is going on is I feel dumb to miss this. When you go to our back end, we have some configuration here to add CORS mean cross script reference site. So when one site try to open another one and they are not come from the same server, do you see they're like, it's the same server but different ports. I say, oh, I think the issue is about CORS because we changed the port. Let's see if it's gonna figure out. Like me to support your backend now? Yes. So yeah, exactly like that. Change from this, and actually it's doing both. In iOS, could it just work for any local host regardless the port? I guess there is a way to do it. Let's see. Change the file. Change the file, please. We get so lazy that we don't want to just copy and paste. Because, okay, do for me. Sometimes happen, huh? So just to recap, that was good to happen because this is the kind of thing that when happen and you don't know what is going on, you may take forever. We saw this in our training, and I feel bad that I didn't spot this right away. The front end is making a HTTP request to the back end. And as a safety measure, when you are loading a page for one server, that means the URL plus the port, and the website try to make a call to a different server, that means a different port, Core is going to block to avoid that someone inject code in a page that you think you are visiting, like for example, Amazon.com. But then that code is make a call to a different place. So now we can just do this restart and everything should work fine. And the way that I spot, I was not like really pay attention the way that I should, but look, it was very clear here. Cores missing. So you already learned something new. When you see this, that means you are loading a page that is trying to access a URL that is in a different server, and that server does not recognize you as one of the potential callers. So I'll get this guy, I go here, I stop, and I paste it. Oh, I'm not sure if it's already running, but let's try. No, it's not running yet. As you can see, this is not nice. Every time you change, you need to rebuild. So this is not how we're going to do our develop, but this is how we're going to deploy it. So at least you know it already. So now do you see the new code is there? We have the breakpoint that you just put, the debugger. I will let it run, and let's hope everything works fine. So the good thing now is we learn how to set up Docker in our application. It's very rare to know someone that can just write all those files from memory directly. At least I don't know anyone, but maybe exist. Usually we go copy and paste, we go to documentation, because it's not too complex, but still, there is so much stuff that we need to deal with. And to memorize this, how to do those little things. The database we didn't use yet, but it's there. So, oh, let's see if we can do this. How? No, we're gonna do it in another, sorry, we're gonna do this in another class. We're gonna connect to the database and do some interaction. So, recap for today's class, what we learned, how to clone a repository, how to run our application isolated, and how to set up Docker. Of course, I don't expect anyone to memorize exactly what is here, but at least you have an idea what happened here. We use AI to build everything, and then we have to fix the cores that was like, because I was not too concerned about this, we're gonna drop everything here, but that means in this particular case, whatever is coming from localhost will be accepted. The same when you deploy to a live server. Imagine that Amazon website, web page, is only allowed to make calls to the Amazon backend service. To avoid that someone, for example, could inject HTML in a product description, because there is some content that is HTML, and then make some calls to send your data or to bring data from different servers. So this is like a basic security mechanism called CORS that gives like headaches when you are doing those kind of stuff. It's good that happened, then we have to deal with it. But all this we're gonna rip apart and then redo again. And the idea to put Docker here is because we're gonna be use the database inside a container, but most of our development we still do by running those, at least the front, both the front and the back end, because then we can have a watch, everything we change, we can see the change right away, instead of have to wait to deploy to a container to test. Okay, I hope I didn't confuse you too much. The class today was to happen like 5 hours ago, but 3 hours ago, I don't know, but everything was going wrong, but I compromised and I did it. So thank you for participate. See you next class. Bye.